This is a battle in the Cup of Nations, first round. Iraklis is commanding Pontus, and in the Cup of Nations you have to use the same faction, to my knowledge, for the entire tournament. So we have 4 mercenary naked swords on the flanks. Then we have hoplites, a total of 4 hoplites, no pikes this time. Then we have 2 mercenary Celts, Eastern Slingers, the Cappadocians, Noble Bloods, Pontic Royal, 1 Scythe Chariot, and 3 mercenary Scythian Horse. For Rome, we have a main line of veteran legionaries, spear gladiatresses, Balearics, and a lot of cavalry here. Legatus, Legionary Cav, Legionary Cav, Legionary Cav. And the Legionary Cavalry isn't a bad unit. It has a nice bit of armor, it has a 15 bonus versus Large. But against the Pontic Cavalry, it really needs support in order to be effective. So Rome isn't an easy matchup for Pontus. The Roman infantry, Pontus has few or no infantry units able to contend with the mainline infantry of Rome. However, the Pontic Cavalry and the Pontic Chariot can do a lot of damage, but as I keep saying, the Pontic Chariot is 1 javelin volley away from being rendered ineffective. Here we have the mercenary Scythian Horse firing heavy shot early on into the Vigiles, it seems. They need to be careful though, because if these Balearics turn around, they will be able to screen away the Scythian Horse Archers very easily. The Scythian Horse Archers already taking fire, already taking casualties. Balearics are going to be able to kill Scythians very, very quickly. So the Scythians are moving around. This is the shielded side of the Romans, so I'm not quite sure why Iraklis chose to send his Scythians around this side, because any missiles coming into the flank is going to have a greater chance of being blocked if you fire from this side. But firing down the line of a unit is still more effective than firing frontally, because more missiles are going to be hitting a unit that you fire at from the flank. So for now, these Scythians are just being kept in the back. These 2 Eastern Slingers won't do too well against Balearics. 2 Balearics against 2 Eastern Slingers, the Balearics are going to defeat the Eastern Slingers without any problems. But using these mercenary Scythians out on the flanks to prevent one of the Balearics from firing frontally is a good idea. Allows the Eastern Slingers to do slightly better here against the Balearics. Now the mercenary Scythians are pushing hard here in the back, wanting to get some heavy shots off on the Legionary Cav. Or actually they're firing at the, seems like they're firing at the Balearics or the Spear Gladiatresses here. Running out before they take damage. Now they're starting to take a bit of fire, but wanting to snipe the Roman general perhaps. They need to be really careful because they are taking fire now. They won't be able to take many volleys. And running down the line now, they are going to be able to do damage to the entire Roman cavalry line. They're still taking fire here from the Balearics. 150 range allows the Balearics to lay down fire. Vigiles moving up to screen. Keeping the Balearics here in the tree area might be a good idea. Using the heavy shot to kill the Vigiles removes the meat shield unit from the Romans. And you see Iraklis doing quite a lot of this, firing on targets that should be low priority targets. Firing on Spear Gladiatresses, that's a very good idea, because these gals are very dangerous in a mixed engagement with cavalry and infantry.
Riders, advance!
I'm being very patient now with the Scythians, doing damage to both the cavalry and to the spear units. Spear Gladiatresses starting to drop. The Balearics once again pluck a few mercenary Scythians off. Over here as well. Now the Legionary Cavalry has taken damage. Not a huge amount of casualties, but it will allow these Cappadocians and Noble-Bloods to defeat the Legionary Cavalry even quicker. Seems like the Principe have managed to get some precursors into these mercenary Scythians. And once again, killing a total of 16 mercenary Scythians. Still though, I would argue that it's good for Pontus to deplete all of these precursors, because if Pontus can take care of the precursors on these units and take care of the levies, the Balearics, then the chariot can do a lot of work. And the Vigiles are still running after the mercenary Scythians. Does not want them to get in and do damage to the Roman cavalry. The Eastern Slingers pulling back. 3 Balearics are going to kill these Eastern Slingers exceptionally quickly. The mercenary Scythian horse archers are moving up very close here to the Spear Gladiatresses. Allows them to do a lot of damage with their heavy shots. Just nipping at the edges, and this is very dangerous. The mercenary Scythians moving into the back of Rome while the slingers are in the front. Loosening a volley on the Legionary Cavalry, pulling back. The chariots were taking fire there from the slingers, and that's pretty bad. Even a volley or two could mean that once the chariots start to engage, they will drop very quickly. And Pontus needs those chariots because there are a lot of veteran legionaries for Pontus to kill. I'm counting 6 veteran legionaries. And some of them are taking fire here. There are Principe, they are taking fire. But still, for Pontus, it's always an issue managing to kill all the Roman infantry. The heavy melee cavalry can do it, especially if the noble blood cav goes in first and they are supported by mercenary naked swords. They can do a lot of damage to Rome. It seems like the noble blood is going for a charge here, wanting to stop these veteran legionaries. There we are, a charge. The Roman units do not get their precursors off. So the veteran legionaries didn't take many casualties there. But this is what's interesting, when the mercenary naked swords charge in. See how quickly they can kill the veteran legionaries. You see the veteran legionaries are now dropping quite quickly. Losing decisively there. And here come the mercenary naked swords. The mercenary naked swords are about to get charged by legionary cav, and they're not going to like that one bit. They are getting the charge off, but light melee infantry, only medium is the legionary cav, but still, that together with the spear gladiatresses should be able to take down a significant amount of the mercenary naked swords. And getting in the hoplites here, this is a very nice move by Iraklis. He gets in the hoplites, goes into phalanx, and pulls out his mercenary naked swords. Very nicely done. Same thing over here with mercenary Celts, getting the hoplites in, presumably going into phalanx. And the mercenary Celts won't survive for long against veteran legionaries. But the legionary cavalry starts to break here because of this charge by the Cappadocians. And now the mercenary naked swords have a chance of finishing off the spear gladiatresses. So over here the hoplites are doing well against the veteran legionaries because the veteran legionaries are taking damage. And you can see that the way Iraklis is using these units, very nice. He is able to get 2 charges off with his mercenary Celts. And getting multiple charges off with a high charge unit just makes it much more valuable. But you can see the mercenary Celtic warriors, they do have problems. They did take a lot of damage from the veteran legionaries. Now it's up to the hoplites to hold here. So Pontus ends up spending units worth far more than the Roman units to destroy them. The legionary cavalry gets a charge in against the Pontic royal cav here. The Pontic royal cav turns around. The mercenary Scythian horse charges in to hold the legionary cavalry. Cappadocians into the blob. So the Cappadocians should be able to do very well here, at least until the spear gladiators join the fight. And getting in these multiple charges has allowed the mercenary Celts and the Hoplites to defeat veteran legionaries. Over here as well, the Hoplites defeat the veteran legionaries. The chariots haven't even been used yet. Nice to save the chariots for the late game when ammunition is depleted. And the Cappadocians are in trouble here because the spear gladiators rapid advance into the fight. The Pontic royal cav defeating the legionary cav. And being very active here with the cavalry charges. The Hoplites holding, but they won't do too well in this particular engagement. Here come the mercenary Celts and the Hoplites chasing after the skirmishers here. Now a charge from the mercenary Scythian horse could be very effective in just holding these units. And indeed it's coming. The mercenary Scythian horse archers charge into the blob, and this could trap the entire skirmish line of Rome. They are getting some kills in here, but this is the main problem for Rome now. The side chariots have gotten some kills, they have been taking fire, but now the cavalry is just being used sacrificially to get into these skirmish units, and the chariots are going to clean up the entire skirmish line of Rome very, very quickly, even causing some damage to the legatus here. That's it. The skirmishers are off the field. The chariots have gotten 137 kills, and now they're going to be able to continue the rampage through the Roman lines pretty much unopposed. The Roman general is going to die. Spear gladiators is going to get hit by the side chariots here. Just as the Cappadocian cavalry starts to break, the chariots are killing these gladiators extremely quickly. Spear gladiators should be off the field as the chariots start pulling out. Over 200 kills now. And the mercenary nakeds fighting against the Principe. Hoplites managing to win here due to the support of cavalry and previous damage taken on the Roman infantry. The mercenary naked swords about to break here against the veteran legionaries. This does not look good for Rome. The Roman army has been picked apart by Pontus. A very good display of how to play against Rome with Pontus here. The chariot did its part, but what really stood out to me in this battle was the way Iraklis was able to use several charges on his inferior units and back it up by the Hoplites. Because when you do it like that, your cheaper units eat the precursors, they get the charges off, the Hoplites go in, tank hit point damage, the other unit is able to pull out and then get another charge. So even under those conditions, the Roman infantry got some kills in. But what really killed Rome was the inability to save the microphone fell there. The inability to protect their skirmishers, and that can be very hard against Pontus, because even though you have a lot of cavalry as Rome, these Cappadocians and noble blood are superior, and you also have the Scythian horse archers to contend with. Strength and order.